This pinion seal doesn't look anything like the old one at all. So that's great. I'm not going to replace this rotor. I actually think it's fine. And I don't want to, so. Ever tough.
Differential breather tubes. They tried to get all fancy here. Welcome back to Clint Vought's garage. We are doing some more maintenance on the Izuzu Trooper. Pinion seal needs to be replaced real bad. Driver, passenger side brake rotor. I stuck my finger in between the little wheelie, the things, and it feels like the moon. So I think that caliper is like sticking or was sticking or something. Guy I bought this from said that one of the calipers was replaced, so they kind of all seem like they're on their way out. I bought 2 rotors, but I didn't mean to, but I'm sure there's probably another rotor that needs to be replaced. The only thing is that this rig is 4-wheel drive, so I might not get to that today because pulling off the hubs and all the things, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the time because I've never done that. But I mean, I know it's not that complicated. I watched Puddin do it the other day, and that gave me a little bit more confidence. But yeah, so first thing we got to do is pinion seal. I think I have the right impact socket to get the nut off, but then I think I'm going to need to go to, I'll go to Oreilly's, but I'm going to need to go rent one of those pullers. Yes. I'm going to get this thing up on jack stands in the back. Block the front tires. I can't quite get it all the way in. Well, this is a good spot for it. So, yeah. So we'll just dig into it. All right. As you can see, this thing is big leaking. I was kind of worried that it was leaking down here, and I think it might be a little bit, but not as much as it's leaking at the seal. So we got to get this drive shaft off. So just the 4 bolts on the, I don't know what the hell any of this is called. The thing that holds the U-joints in the place, the U-joint holder. I don't know what it's called, but I know, yeah, that's what I got to do. And then there's a big old nut in here I'm gonna have to get out with an impact. I'm gonna guess that these are, I don't know, 14 mil. Well, I don't know. This is, with this being Chevy drivetrain, I never know if stuff is gonna be metric or standard. I wish I had shocks and stuff today so we could go ahead and do that, but I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna figure out what bolt size these are, spray them with some lubrication, and then we'll get in there. All right, yeah, my the biggest impact I have is a 32 millimeter. I think it's probably like, honestly, it's probably like 35 or something. So I'm gonna have to go to the store and get an impact. Luckily, my wife is working from home today, so I can take her car. All right, we're back in action with the 36 millimeter Ever Tough that I rented from the Oreilly's. And then we got the dang harmonic balancer puller, which is basically the closest thing that I could find. I'm gonna kind of make sure that this is gonna do the thing. Yes, this will do the thing that we need it to do. So I gotta get my impact set up, get this nut off, probably hit that with the scribe again. And by scribe I mean Milwaukee Kniffy. Almost. Got him. The dang nut got stuck in here. So we love that. Oh, there we go. That kind of got me scared. Oh, this just pops right off. Well, hot diggity dog. I didn't even have to use that harmonic balancer thingy. There was a washer that came out, And then obviously this is splined, which is why I made all these marks. I realized, of course, I did not mark this, so that's great. There's the old pinion seal. Let me go grab my new pinion seal. Yeah, I figured that would have been splined on there. This pinion seal doesn't look anything like the old one at all. So that's great. That ain't gonna do anything. Going back to Oreilly's for a new pinion seal, because this is not the right part. Alright, so I don't have the pinion seal. They didn't have one in stock, so we're gonna shift gears, pun intended, and I'm just gonna put all of this back together, and then we're gonna do the front driver's side brakes. And then tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. they're supposed to have me a pinion seal. Hopefully it works. If not, I guess this will just leak forever. I decided I'm not going to replace this rotor. I actually think it's fine. And I don't want to. So we're just going to do the caliper and the pads. Alright, broke torque on that one. Where I broke it. Man, I'm loving this, I'll tell you what. It's like I can't get, like there's no... Alright, I got this piece back together. These all kind of snaps in. It's sort of hard to explain, but it's also kind of self-explanatory, but it's also way harder than it needs to be. This will go back. I'll get these bolts started, and then we will pop this banjo bolt back in for the, so we can stop dripping brake fluid all over the floor. Babe, I'm gonna spin this, and then I'm gonna go in the cab and step on the brakes. Let me know if it stops spinning.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to bleed the brakes now. But... Okay. You can let it go now. Alright, now go ahead and give me some pumps. Y'all ready for some? Alright, next up on the chopping block is I have a hole here. Obviously you can see it because there it is, there's a hole.
This is an aspen. You can tell that it's an aspen tree because of the way it is.
And then there is a hole here, and it's pretty much mirrored on both sides. This one's a little worse. It's actually quite a bit worse, to be honest. But I need to pull this strip out, pull these D-rings off, and then we're gonna repair this. We're not gonna do it wrong, but we're not gonna do it super great. The fact of the matter is this thing, the transmission is gonna go out faster than this is gonna need to have attention again. So clear all this stuff out, and then we'll cut up some pieces, and I'm just gonna overlap them, so it is what it is. Alright, I'm back with some marine sealant. I figure we're trying to prevent water from coming in. something that is for a boat ought to do a pretty good job of that. Boats. All right, I'm gonna take this thing on a test drive and test drive the brakes. Also make sure that my drive shaft isn't super wonky because I have to take it back to Oreilly's in the morning.
One minute, 37 seconds later.
Alright, y'all. So this is the original part. And it fit in like this, which kind of sort of didn't really work too good, obviously, as you can see how much gear oil was coming out of here. This one is quite a bit different, but maybe, so like, it doesn't, does that, let's see if I can get this splined on here and kind of take a gander. Come on. So like, I mean, it doesn't go on as far now. Will the drive shaft fit? Yeah, it, hold on, it's hard to do this with one hand. Yeah, I think that'll fit once I get it. Anyway, I can't do this with one hand. Let me, so like, obviously it's gonna pull tension. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I also kind of feel like, I mean, it seems like it'll seal, and it for sure doesn't go this way. I don't think. Well, unless, hold on. Let's spline this on correctly. I think this was up here. Come on, there we go. Let me take a gander. I mean, kind of seems like it makes more sense like this. Yeah, because that's more like the old one anyway. I guess I'll just try it. I'm just gonna drive it around the block and then see if it leaks. Make sure it also like doesn't feel weird. I don't hear any weird noises. Oh yeah, it's leaking a ton. So we're going back with the old one, and I'm just gonna have to order one of those on eBay. All right, well, the Pinion Seal madness continues. I found an Izuzu parts website. I'm just gonna order it off there. I've got a few hours before I need to pick up the kids from school, so I'm gonna finish the floor pan and the hatch of this thing. I'm gonna keep doing my Laurel, Indiana repair on it. So I got my crappy welding table set up here. I'm just gonna cut some pieces out. I'm not even really gonna do very much measuring. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that. So here we go. I'm back. I decided to take this thing through a car wash before I go pick up a couple groceries and then go pick up the kids from school. I laced up the trunk. The exhaust sounds better. It's not as loud in the cab, and also the way that crappy exhaust is routed, the muffler was basically dumping the exhaust like right in the driver's side wheel well, and it smelled like exhaust in here all the time. And it would get to the point where it would kind of make, you could, you know, kind of feel it in your dome, you know, it goes straight to the dome, and it's not doing that anymore. So that's really nice, but I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm not gonna be able to give it the works. But from like welding in the trunk and grinding and everything in the garage and having the back end of this thing up in the garage, the windows are filthy, so I need to just at least kind of knock the funk off of it, and then maybe we'll take a couple photos of it for the interwebs. Hey everybody, I'm back here under the Izuzu Trooper trying to finish this video. It's like 5 days later or something. I finally figured this out. Let me see if I can show you what's going on here. Okay, so, alright. So there is, you see this like copper washer thing? So that was very similar to the part that I ordered from Oreilly's. I'm not sure if the part that I ordered from Oreilly's was actually the right part or not, because I put this in wrong, because someone at some point had basically, I guess they couldn't find a pinion seal or something, so they added a washer. So here's the pinion yoke, pinion seal, and then obviously like the pinion comes out and there's bearings, and this is the differential. I don't know what everything's called because I don't actually know what I'm doing. So they just had this like rubber boot thing in here without the seal. So to compensate for that, I think, because I looked at some diagrams, I'll post one right now. Okay. So I've been looking at diagrams. That rubber, they basically, there's none of the diagrams have that washer in it. So I think they couldn't find a pinion seal. So they just tried to compensate by using that like rubber kind of seal washer thing, and then they just put the steel washer in here to compensate for the distance in like that they were losing from the seal in the drive shaft. I just drove this and it did still leak a little bit, but before I would pull up into a parking lot and there would be a puddle, like, I mean, I'm literally like an ounce, maybe 2 ounces every time I would drive anywhere ever. Another thing that I read about was that the breathers would get clogged and that could cause a leak. Now I haven't test driven it yet, but I popped, here I'll show you. I popped the breather tube off, and I think that this is like a valve up here that's supposed to open and close. Well, this whole tube was just full of, it probably still is, it was just full of rust and dirt. So I'm just gonna pop this thing on here and let it do the wang dangle, and maybe zip tie it up here or something, just so that can just exist. I mean, because that's usually what I'm used to with most differential breather tubes. They tried to get all fancy here, and I'm pretty sure also this was plugged. So I'm hoping between the pinion seal being correct and this breather being just open, the breather for the diff, I think that our leak will just, if I have a little bit of a leak and I have to put, you know, some fluid in this every once a month, even shit, even like whatever, I'm okay with that. But I was putting, like, the last week I put like $20 of differential fluid in this thing. Probably not $20, I'm exaggerating. Anyway, I've been spending, I don't know, $1 or $2 a day on gear oil. Can't keep doing that. But yeah, I'm in park right now, so I can't show you. There's no wiggle in the wobble. I think I pretty much, whoa, that's so bright. I think I pretty much nailed it. I'll give you guys an update. I need to drive it, you know, fast. I need to go on the go fast road to get the fluid heated up. But yeah, I think I figured it out. I'll post links in the description for all the part numbers and all the tools that I use and everything this week. I think this video is going to be kind of long, but the Trooper's pretty much done. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, everybody. Goodbye.